Want to become an MMA fighter, you want to join the UFC, or you want to join Bellator, or you want to join ONE FC, or you want to join a different MMA promotion. First of all, what you're gonna have to do is you're going to have to be in the gym constantly every day. You need to have to make sure that your cardio is on point, top of the line, best. So you're gonna have to train probably 5 days a week every day, or 7 days a week. There's some fighters that, well, not 7 days a week. You need to rest your body. So let's say 5 days a week, every day, constantly in the gym. You have to train probably twice a day. If you want to be the best, you have to train twice a day, every day. So you're gonna have to train jiu-jitsu. You're gonna have to train boxing. You're gonna have to train wrestling. Those are the three disciplines that you're gonna have to train. And then you're gonna have to train kickboxing too, because you have to do kicks as well. So, and then when you're training jujitsu, that's expensive. I tried training. I started training jiu-jitsu like for like 3 months, and that cost me like 200 euros. So let's assume that you do jiu-jitsu maybe 2 days a week. So then that's gonna be 140 euros per three per every 3 months. So that costs a lot of money off the top. Then you gotta pay your boxing coach. Then you gotta pay your kickboxing coach. Then you gotta pay your and then every time you have a camp, you have to pay a training camp. So there's a lot of money associated with fighting and MMA. Even if you want to train, it costs a lot of money. I mean, the gym subscription is like $20, so that's not a lot of money. Training at the gym, doing your cardio and strength and conditioning. Strength and conditioning and cardio is actually another thing that's like super important. That's almost as important, if not more important, than the jiu-jitsu, because if you get tired, everything goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. Everything in the world. You can be the most talented guy. You could be the most talented guy ever. You can be the best guy. You can be the most talented motherfucker ever. But if you're not conditioned, and if your body's not conditioned to go 3 rounds, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Even if you're the strongest guy on the planet, doesn't matter. Once you get tired, it's over. So, oh fuck, I gotta check my charger connection. But if you want to become a UFC fighter, man, it's a road plagued with it's a road plagued with hardship, you know. I was just listening to Casey O'Neill's interview with Ariel Helwani, and she said that there was a time when she only had $3,000 in her bank account and she was sleeping on her friend's couch in her Airbnb. So, and a lot of these other fighters have the same story. Conor McGregor was a plumber. Dustin Poirier, what was his story? What was his story into the UFC, into fighting? He just started doing it and he started loving it and he started liking doing what he's doing. And Jermaine Durandamy right here, she's right here. She's a police officer. And Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Valentina. Well, Valentina's trained her whole life. Israel was a kickboxer before this, definitely wasn't making as much money, but you guys get the gist of it, man. Like MMA and training and fighting, and then every fight that you take, you get paid nothing. You get paid hardly nothing, and that doesn't even cover your next fight. And then you gotta pay your living expenses, then you gotta pay for your food, then you gotta pay for your rent, and then the money that you get from fights. And even to get to the UFC, first you gotta fight in local promotions, and you gotta establish a win streak there. You know, maybe a 7 fight win streak, or even a 4 fight win streak in a local promotion. Gain yourself a following there, and then you get a chance to fight in the UFC, or you get a chance to fight in Bellator or ONE FC or these other promotions. So becoming a fighter is something that you're gonna have to sacrifice your entire, like, everything that you've been doing before. You can't drink alcohol, you can't smoke. Those are the things that are definitely going to impact you. Maybe you can do those things, but you can't do them like recklessly as much as you've been doing before when you're not fighting. And you got to just take care of your body. You got to train regularly. You can never be out of the gym for a prolonged period of time. When your friends are at the club partying and drinking, you need to be at the gym working hard and working in the gym and just riding that treadmill on that bike, or hitting that heavy bag, or grappling with someone else in the jiu-jitsu gym. Or you are supposed to be training constantly. There's no, you take rest for recovering your body, and then you get right back into the gym. Of course, I mean, after a big victory or a big fight, then you take maybe you take 1 month off to recuperate your body from all of those punches. But the most amount of time you're supposed to take off at the beginning of your journey in mixed martial arts is maybe a month off after every fight. 1 month off, and then get back right into training. Like, you never stop training. You constantly train every day. Like, and then you take 2 days off every week, get back into the gym on Monday. So it's basically a full-time job, but it's harder than a full-time job because you got to train twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, every day. Then you take 2 days off, right back in the gym again the next day. Man, that life is just so exhausting, dude. Constantly training, constantly in the gym, and then you gotta eat constantly. You gotta eat a lot of food as well. You gotta be eating constantly too, because the energy output that you're having is absolutely insane. So you gotta feed your body like a machine, because you need to rest, you need to have recovery, your body needs to grow, you need to eat. It's just hard, man. It's not easy. The job that these fighters have, and the fighter lifestyle is just not. It's not for everybody. No, not everybody has the discipline to fucking train every day for twice a day, or but there's also fighters that have jobs on the side and they're fighters in the UFC. Seriously. And the thing is, and then once you're in the UFC, it's not going to solve all of your problems, because at the beginning of your road to becoming champion, you get paid 20,000 to win and 20,000 to show. So you don't even get paid a lot of money. You get paid hardly nothing. You get paid 20,000 to show, 20,000 to win. That's when you're on the prelims. That's when you're on the preliminaries. And then once you go past the preliminaries and you get past and you go to the main card, you still shouldn't try and get your hopes up too much. Don't buy your mom that house just yet. But then once you get to the main event, okay, now we got a little bit more money. Now you can buy your mom that little house that you were looking about. And then once you get to the pay-per-view main event, okay, now we did it. Now we're there. But until you get there, you have to beat so many good fighters and get through so many talented other guys that want this just as much as you do. And maybe they're training just as hard, or if not harder than you are. Those guys are the guys that are going to make it. And those guys are the guys that become champions, like Kamaru Usman or Israel Adesanya or Khabib or, Jan Blachowicz or the Francis Ngannou's of the world. Like, those kind of guys are just the guys that put in that much work. Obviously, your body has to rest and recuperate, and you need to know when you need to work hard and when to rest. You can't constantly be in the gym every day, which is why I mentioned those 2 days off every week that you have to rest. Take your mind off training so that your mind can reset. It's a job. but it's harder than a job, dude. You get punched in the face, you might get knocked out, submitted. You need to limit the damage that happens in sparring, and it's just so many different variables. And then you got to look at the cost, and then you got to look at how much money comes in. And then if you want to increase your streams of revenue and try to make this a something that you really want to, make work, like you would start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, and then that takes time out of your day, out of rest and recovery and training. But literally, man, literally. But that's the thing. When you're first starting off in MMA, you literally do not have the option to train 2 days, 2 times a day, and rest for 2 days a week on Saturday and Sunday, because you have to have a job outside of MMA. You know, at the beginning when you're starting out, you don't have enough money until you win a fight. And then there's going to be how many months before the next fight? There's going to be 3 to 4 months before the next fight. And then you're literally training for the next fight. Or you're outside of each fight, you should just be training for the next one, because you're going to get another fight. That's what Khabib said. That's another thing. Khabib said that even if you don't have a fight schedule planned or a fight camp prepared, you should be in the gym right after the next fight. You should take 1 week off to rest after the fight, and then get right back into the gym. That's the mentality you have to have if you want to stay champion or become champion. Train constantly, because there's lions that are trying to take that away from you. There's people that are outside of where you are, that are trying to take your head off or submit you or finish you. So constantly have to train. That's something that remains constant. And if you can't do that, you have a job on the side, not gonna cut it. In this business, it's not gonna cut it. It's absolutely not gonna cut it. There is fighters that, when you're first starting out, sure, you can have a job on the side. But when you start fighting tougher opponents and you move up the ladder, absolutely you can't have another job, because you have to train so much to try and catch up to the deficiencies that you have. Maybe you're a striker and you're bad, and you're not that good in the ground game. So, looking at that, then you probably got to put thousands of hours on the mat in jiu-jitsu. It's like this, imagine you're learning a new language, and then I'm learning Spanish, and then I got to debate someone that's fluent in Spanish in 3 months. It's kind of hard to learn all of the things that you need to learn of jiu-jitsu in 3 months. It's not going to work like that. It takes a lifetime to learn jiu-jitsu. And then it takes so much money and effort and time as well, because jiu-jitsu classes are not free. Like, it costs a lot of money to be training in jiu-jitsu. So yeah, man. These are the things, man. If any of you guys watching this want to be a fighter, you should probably pick another sport, because this is not a sport that you can just be half-assed, or you can just come in with preconceived notions, or you can come into this sport just thinking that you're gonna just come in there and do whatever you want and not train as hard, or just half-assed workouts, or not show up to the gym on time, or you feel like you don't have to train that hard or that long. You're in for a rude awakening. You probably won't even make it that far. You will probably get knocked out in your local promotion, or even if you win in your local promotion, you probably will never make it to a good promotion like the UFC or Bellator. You'll be stuck fighting in your regional promotion, or you may not even make it that far. You may get knocked out in the amateurs and not even get far in the amateurs. So yeah, it's something to consider. But if you do want to make it, and you are willing to put in the work, and you are willing to train every fucking day, train every day of your existence, because that's what you need to do, then you can make it. If you're obsessed and you just want to train and there's nothing else, then yes, absolutely you can make it.